Have you ever thought about living life alone, with no one who understands or could ever imagine a life of loneliness? Behind closed doors she lived life in darkness. I often heard her cry, but I could never find the words to say. I often close my eyes and think of how things could have been, what life could have been like for my daughter, Violet. When she was a little girl, she was always full of joy and happiness. Her smile lit up the room, and her laugh filled the silence. But as years passed, I noticed her smile and laugh beginning to fade. It became non-existent. She was beginning to change, and even though these changes were small, I noticed every single one. I often asked her if she was okay, but I'd only ever get, "I'm fine, Mum." I thought it would all blow over and it was just a stage of growing up, but I was wrong. She had become silent and hid inside her room in complete silence. She never closed her curtains at night. She just gazed at the stars. She would always say that the stars would make her wishes come true. I wondered what her wishes were, but never dared to ask. I didn't want to intrude on what she would say her happiest times were in her dreams. Like any other teenage girl, she sometimes seemed moody, but when I thought about it, I noticed some big differences when I compared her to other teenagers. She never socialised with friends, she only studied. I thought maybe she enjoyed work or wanted to do well for herself, but I realised that she used her work to escape from everyone. I began to realise the sheltered life she was living. She needed my help. I remember asking her again and again if she was okay, and if not, she could talk to me. She was hesitant, but finally told me them words no mother wants to hear. "I'm being bullied, Mum." I squeezed her tight to show her that she wasn't alone, and I was there, but was I enough? Was I enough to stop the pain? I told her it would get better, but she stared back at me in disbelief. I said they were just jealous. She hid her scars, but she was covered in cuts and bruises. I never knew she was in this state. I blamed myself. All I wanted was my little girl back. I tried everything, but not before long history was repeating itself. She was only 14. How much could my Violet take? I lay awake every night thinking about what I could do next to help my daughter, but it was too late. My Violet didn't want the pain, and I didn't want to be alone. But I am. My Violet's gone. Every day feels empty. Every day feels like complete darkness. Violet's left me a note. This note was the last note I would ever receive from my little girl. My last connection. Memories reminded me that the past is real. This was the memory I was left to make sense of. I was left with the unanswered questions. My Violet had escaped her torture, but mine had just begun.
To Mum. I'm sorry, Mum. Sorry for how you feel right now. But I just couldn't go on anymore. Every day is ripping me apart. Thank you for being there, Mum. You was the only thing that kept me going. I'm sorry I wasn't stronger so we could still be together. The last thing I ever wanted to do was hurt you. You know my dreams were my happiest times. So don't be sad, Mum. I'm in a better place. We are apart for now, but we will meet again in a much happier place. I promise. I love you, Mum. Violet.
30 seconds is when the next child will be bullied. 30 seconds is when the next child will self-harm. 30 seconds is when the next child could attempt suicide. 30 seconds is when that child will die. Don't wait another 30 seconds. Call now on 01459 633 95. Thank you.